This is Abia COVID-19 update.
Abia COVID-19 update. Well, I'm expecting you to be familiar with the basic precautionary measures now, like regularly and thoroughly cleaning your hands with an alcohol-based hand sanitizer and wash them with soap and water, because washing your hands with soap and water or using alcohol-based hand rub kills viruses that may be on your hands. Also, avoid touching your eyes and nose and mouth, because hands touch many surfaces and can pick up viruses, and once contaminated, hands can transfer the virus to your eyes, nose or mouth, from where the virus can enter your body and infect you. And making sure that you and the people around you follow good respiratory hygiene by covering your mouth and covering your nose with your bent elbow or tissue when you cough or sneeze. Then dispose the used tissue immediately and wash your hands. Droplets spread virus. So by following good respiratory hygiene, you protect the people around you from viruses such as cold, such as flu, and COVID-19. This is Abia State COVID-19 update, the last edition for the month, as today is the last day in the month of April. My name is Michael Oni. On this program, we highlight daily reports of the Interministerial Committee on the Control of COVID-19, as well as Abia State Governor Okezie Ikpeazu's efforts in ensuring that the state is safe from the virus. It is running simultaneously every weekday from Mondays through Fridays on several radio stations in the state, live on BCA 88.1 FM, Flow 94.9 FM, Vision Africa Radio 104.1 FM, all in Umwa here, the capital of Abia State. We're also live on Pause 89.7 FM and Rail 99.1 FM, both in Aba, the commercial capital of the state. Now, globally, as of 7:30 a.m. today, there are 3,221,617, more than 3 million confirmed cases worldwide, and 228,263 deaths. Also, 229. Take that again. 1,005,229 have recovered. It previously took almost 4 months for the virus to infect 1 million people, and then only 12 days for that number to double as the virus was confirmed as a pandemic. And several countries now see a slowdown in their infection rates. Australia, Spain, and Italy have announced they will begin easing lockdown restrictions. Nigeria recorded 196 cases of coronavirus yesterday, which is the highest daily figure since the first case was recorded in February. The country also recorded 7 deaths from the disease yesterday, bringing the total number of deaths to 51 from 44 on Tuesday. And the 196 cases brings the total number of coronavirus cases in the country to 1,728, including 307 patients who have been discharged from after recovery, and 51 deaths. One new state, Yobe State, reported a case for the first time since the beginning of the outbreak in February, bringing to 34 the states in Nigeria with at least a case of the disease. It won't be proper if we give you global update, Nigeria update, not giving you the update in Abia State. Abia State, 2 index cases, both of who are patients of Federal Medical Center, are stable and receiving care at the isolation facility of the hospital. The governor also instituted a special hazard allowance for the frontline staff of the Federal Medical Center and others, including members of the Abia State Emergency Operations Center involved in the management of the index patients, with effect from the 20th of April 2020. All the 31 high-risk samples so far taken and tested from contacts of the index cases returned negative results, including those of the spouse, the caregiver, as well as some medical personnel who managed them. So as it stands now, there are 262 contacts in the state, and they have been traced and the state is also actively following 212 of them. There are some at the isolation center, and there are some probably properly isolated at home. So that's the situation right here in Abia State. There is a current lockdown in the state over the ongoing, due to the lockdown. There is a lockdown, and the governor will also review the current lockdown over the coming weekend. Also, a committee, according to a press statement from the Office of the Honorable Commissioner for Information, will be inaugurated to develop protocols for phased resumption of business life in the state. So meaning we may be seeing a relaxation of the lockdown and probably relaxation of the curfew very soon. Well, joining us this morning to further explain the directives of the statewide lockdown, the 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew imposed by the governor, is the Honorable Commissioner from the Ministry of Homeland Security. So the Honorable Commissioner for Homeland Security in Abia State is very much in the studio, Prince Dan Okoli. Good morning to you, Honorable Commissioner.
Good morning, Mike, and good morning, Nigeria, Abians and listeners to the program.
Oh, glad to have you join us this morning, Honorable Commissioner. You're also a member of the Enforcement Committee. So how are Abians complying to some of these directives?
Thank you very much. I must give Abians a fair score. Surprisingly,
fair score.
Yeah.
Okay.
Surprisingly, the level of compliance can be put at 75%.
That's a pass mark. Okay. Well, to you it's a fair score, probably because you're expecting 100% compliance. Well, interesting. Let's take a look at the entry points that we have in Abia State. How many are they?
Well, we have marshaled out or identified about 41 entry points into Abia State. Well, we have about 16 major ones.
Okay. 16 major ones. Can you highlight some of the major ones?
We have the boundary between us and Imo State at Umuopara on Imo.
On Imo.
We have the one at Owerenta, Imo Bridge. We have another one along that line at Ekoba.
Okay.
In Umuahia North. We have our boundary down south between us and River State at Imo Bridge too.
Okay.
That is Okwa West Local Government. We have the old road and the new express road. We have the old road that comes in through Ojibo,
Okay.
Then we have up north the boundary between Abia and Enugu State along the Federal Highway. We have our boundary with Anambra State at Owerri Zukala.
Okay.
Taking
a look at some of these boundaries you've mentioned, some of the entry points, how have you been able to ensure 75% compliance?
Yes, the governor in his wisdom directed my ministry, the Ministry of Homeland Security, to take over the lockdown of these borders, and we deployed members of the Abia Vigilante Services, which is a part of the ministry.
Okay.
We've deployed them in all these major boundaries, and they stay there day and night.
Meaning it's a 24-hour surveillance.
A 24-hour surveillance.
Challenges. Let's take a look at the challenges. I know it may have been a very difficult task ensuring that you have your officers at those entry points staying there day and night.
Yes, our major challenge is the location of these boundaries. They are located in a place we can refer as no man's land.
Okay.
So the vigilante staff or personnel, find it difficult when it is raining, where they will stay, and when they leave the road for a second, anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
So we tried to provide a tent for them. So whenever it's raining, the 1 or 2 persons will be on the road with their raincoats, and the rest will, be in the tent.
Interesting.
And, so that's how the first challenge we made. The rains are coming faster now. Another challenge we have is collaboration with other security agencies. Initially, there seemed not to be acceptance by those agencies like the police. They find it challenging,
to work with the vigilante.
Yes, but we go around these borders, talk to them, create synergy, between them and the members of the AVS. They are actually the federal security agency, but in Abia State, Abia Vigilante Service is the core state security outfit. They are empowered by law also. So we try to talk to these people to see them as partners in the business of locking down the borders, and also in the business of protecting the citizens of the state. So with that, we started enjoying some synergy, and the lockdown became more effective.
Let's take a look at the intra-state lockdown now. Within Abia, we have 2 categories. The lockdown, which has been in place before the curfew, and the other one is the curfew from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. What is the difference between the curfew and the lockdown?
Well, during the lockdown, certain people are permitted to, move.
Okay.
Those on essential duties, or those hauling essential commodities like food and drugs or medical related items, we are allowed to move about. And citizens were asked to stay at home. They can only come out when it is absolutely necessary. Maybe you're going to buy drugs, taking somebody who is critically ill to the hospital, and all that. But curfew situation means there is no movement.
Total lockdown.
Total lockdown.
Some persons are not exempted from the total lockdown. Probably maybe the medical personnel on duty, those working in radio stations on night duty, and some other persons.
Well, when the governor declared or proclaimed a curfew,
yes,
you should know that there is a curfew situation. You make arrangements to take care of that period when you are not supposed to be on the road.
Interesting.
So we can use our discretion to allow somebody who is critically ill to pass. Somebody, if not given such attention, might die.
Okay.
Yeah, we can accord that person passage. But apart from that, even if you carry 100 trailers of food items, it has to wait till in the morning.
Okay, I would like to take you on some critical questions concerning the arraignment of those that go against some of these directives, how you go about it, and the excesses. We've received report of excesses of some of your men on the road, especially those of them here in Umuahia, the capital of Abia State, and some persons there in Aba, the commercial capital. But that will be after this break. It is Abia State COVID-19 update right here. It is live on several radio stations in Abia State. And of course, we will be right back. We have the Honorable Commissioner for Homeland Securities right in the studio, Dan Okoli. Stay tuned.
This is Abia COVID-19 update.
Abia COVID-19 update. It is Abia State COVID-19 update live on BCA 88.1 FM, Flow 94.9 FM, Vision Africa Radio 104.1 FM, Real 99.1 FM, and Boards 89.7 FM. Well, we have a journalist and of course a reporter from Real FM, Ozirim Eke, joining us all the way from Aba to give us situation report on what is happening there. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thank you very much for joining us this morning on the program. We understand that there was this disobedience concerning some persons in Aba. The open market in some places still ongoing. What is the situation right now in Aba?
Yeah, there is a partial compliance to the lockdown rules. In as much as people are compelled by security agents to observe the lockdown, there are some who want to allow others, but I believe that the observance is highly noticed and flouting the rules. So a situation within some of the major areas visited, there is a blockage of the roads. Roads are blocked. People are still standing on the road. That's the situation at present.
Can you tell us the level of compliance during the curfew period from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m.?
That is true. That is true. That is 100% compliance. But in Abia, at 6 o'clock, you still shop in work. Outside, that is totally observable. But if you run in the daytime, like you can see people walking on the road. About the market, little observers. The markets are on. Those are people who still know that can be 100% observance that daytime.
All right. Can we have names and location of some of the markets that are on?
Part of Abia the market are relocated the timber market side. That's the area and the lending. I lost market also partially on the areas where I know now.
All right. Thank you very much, Ozirim, for your report this morning. All right, that's the situation from Abba. That's a reporter from Real FM giving us the situation report. We still have Honorable Commissioner for Homeland Securities right here, Prince Dan Okoli. You heard him there giving the situation report from Abba. We have partial compliance in the daytime. Some markets are still on there in Abba, but we have total compliance during the curfew period. How do you want to explain this, Honorable Commissioner?
Well, I'm very sure you are familiar with Abba people. It's quite difficult to control Abba people. But what the enforcement we are doing is not actually punitive. It's not actually to punish the people.
Okay.
So this enforcement has a human face, and considering the incidents or incidences that has taken place in Abba between the security agencies and the people, the problems it generated. So we are not, we don't want to allow such situations, to jeopardize the aim.
It's been managed carefully.
Yeah, it's been managed carefully so that we don't encounter more of those problems. So, but then the markets he is talking about are officially closed. When you go there, you see that the markets are under lock and key. But people who normally trade there will come out around the market, to do one or two businesses. But the enforcement team will also go there. When they gather, they also go there to disperse them.
Okay.
So that does not mean the markets are open.
Prince Dan, let's talk about the excesses of some of your men. I know you must have had reports of some of your men's excesses, talking about extortion and the way they go about enforcing this lockdown.
Well, you know that in every 12 there must be a Judas. But I can tell you such reports are very minimal.
Okay.
Because every member of this task force has at the back of his or her mind that no one is exempted from contracting this virus. So the level of commitment, I can assure you, is very high. But we still get these people, the bad eggs among them, we fish them out, and from time to time we juggle the committee, we juggle the task force to make sure those bad influences are removed. I want to commend the efforts of the other agencies like the police, the NSCDC, the Peace Corps, the DSS, other volunteer groups like the Peace Corps, the Vigilante Group of Nigeria. They have been very wonderful.
Interesting.
They volunteered and they helped to enforce this lockdown.
All right, let's hear from you. It's time for you to ask questions concerning the enforcement of the lockdown as imposed by the executive governor of Abia State and also the curfew in Abia State. Let's hear from you this morning. 0808 182 6949 or 0811 605 2949. You can also drop messages on the SMS line 0906 510 8289. Do not forget the Abia Telehealth Initiative line. If you have a case you want to report concerning a coronavirus, a suspected case, it's 0700 224 2362. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Michael Oni.
Good morning. Glad to have you join us this morning. What's your name?
Good morning, Honorable Commissioner in the House.
Good morning.
Yeah, other members in the House. Good morning. This is Roman the Prophet from Umai. I really thank God that I'm able to connect today in this COVID-19 discussion. Honorable Commissioner, I thank you. Since you assume office, have seen new things happening. Since you assume office, have seen new things. The way you handle things, it shows you know your work. You know your work. But what I really want us to do is that your men should make sure they understand that this particular coronavirus is irrespective of normal. If you don't make any mistake before you know it, you will become one of the people that have contacted it. Now, I want to thank Abia State Governor. I have never done it before, but why I used to do it is because I want to do it now is because the man has distinguished himself among every other governor in Nigeria. Because the way he handled things, the way he has tackled this coronavirus in Abia State, the way he has distributed palliative shows that he's a woman governor filled with woman kindness. But I want to tell him, please, like Oliver Twist, do more. Because we are respecting ourselves.
All right. Let's allow others contribute. Thank you very much, Loman the Prophet. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
You're welcome. What's your name?
Commissioner, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Ali from Omaya.
Welcome.
I have a question I want to ask Honorable Commissioner. Is it true that Abia State government is working with the Aburo people to fight this coronavirus under COVID-19 task force in other states? For example, stay in the road, monitoring those people they are not with their face mask, stay in the border, make sure no people enter this other state or go out in this other state.
All right.
Again, no, I'm coming, please. And
quickly, please.
And again, Honorable Commissioner, how are you managing? Make sure your boys do not contact this coronavirus. They stand there.
All right. We got your question. Thank you very much.
Okay. Firstly, Abia State government is not using any aburo to enforce these COVID-19 directives. We have a task force on environment, the existing task force on environment. They are incorporated into this enforcement. These people are profiled people registered with the Ministry of Environment. We know them, they are not aburos.
Okay.
They work in tandem and under the directive of the Honorable Commissioner for Environment, who is the chairman of this enforcement task force.
Ensuring the safety of the
Then
men.
for the men at the borders, when you get there, you see that each of them has face masks. They have up to 3 sets. You know, this one we produce in Abia State is reusable. When you wash it, sanitize it, you can reuse it. So they have about 3 sets so that they don't overuse any.
Our time is fast.
They have they have hand sanitizers.
Okay.
We give them a set almost on weekly basis.
All right. Well, just a quick one on the SMS line. This one says, please, I want to ask, will there be movement of keke starting from the 4th of May? A quick one because of our time.
Well, I can't say for now because before then we are going to have a review.
All right.
The committee will have a review of the lockdown so far and come up with fresh directives.
Thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner for Homeland Securities right here in Abia State, Prince Dan Okoli, for being part of the program this morning.
Thank you.
Many thanks for joining us. The program returns tomorrow on the same stations: Flow 94.9 FM, BCA 88.1 FM, Vision Africa Radio 104.1 FM, Boz 89.7 FM, and Real 99.1 FM. My name is Michael Oni. Stay safe and take responsibility.
This is Abia COVID-19 update.
Abia COVID-19 update.